G'day guys, I'm Tim Guest, Australia's leading financial educator and the Managing Director and Founder of Infinite Wealth. Whether it's your first time joining us today or whether you're someone who's been a follower of the work we do here at Infinite Wealth for a long time, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we absolutely love to see your guys' questions, comments, queries, interactions, likes, loves, angries, all that kind of stuff with our videos. So please make sure you interact with the video as we go. And of course, if you find what we're going to talk about today valuable, all that we ask in return is that you share it with your friends and family. Guys, we are here today to talk about step 6 of the boot camp for your bank account. Hey Sharon, hey Lizelle, nice to see both of you, long-time followers, all right? So great to see you guys on the broadcast. Today we're here to talk about step 6 of the boot camp for your bank account. We're talking the 12-step recovery program, 12 simple structures, steps, apps that you can use and implement to completely transform your financial situation over a 12-week period. How incredible is that? We can do it in such a short period of time. And we've just loved everything that everyone's been feeding back to us about all the videos that we've done so far, the differences. I think I shared with you the last video. We had a lady that discovered she had almost $5,000 worth of crap around her house from I think that was step 5 or step number 4. And today we want to keep on expanding that. And look, primarily what we've been doing is we've been talking about how the small little steps, the minor little changes that you can make can actually make massive differences, really big differences to your financial circumstances. We talked about Acorns, how Acorns is an app, how what we can do with Acorns is we can actually round up every single purchase that you make on your daily transactional account. And for me personally, I've made $2,000 worth of roundups and received a return of almost 10% over the past 12 months. Absolutely massive. We talked about all the crap that you got around your house, whether it was a old bike that you bought that you've never ridden, or we've all got a bunch of stuff around our house, and how maybe putting that on Gumtree or eBay could really turn that into cold hard cash, which we could use. Today we want to talk about another small step, something that you can implement, which could significantly contribute to your wealth building, right? So we've talked about how you can exchange your time and labor for dollars and cents. And this is, g'day Garth, how are you, mate? Thanks for saying hi. We've talked about how primarily this is what people do in their life. They go through life and they exchange their time and labor and their their expertise for dollars and cents, and that's primarily how we earn an income. However, the key is that if we ever want to be financially free, you're never going to do it by earning an income. You've got to build an asset base, okay? However, today I want to talk about how exchanging your time and labor for dollars and cents can actually catapult you and get you into that life of freedom, security, peace of mind much quicker. So guys, shock, horror, you could ask for a pay rise. I know this is something very controversial to talk about. We have seen some pretty low wage growth over the past few years here in Australia, but guys, this is still something worthwhile to pursue. And even if it's only $50 or $100 a week, that could make a considerable difference overall to your long-term financial wealth. I mean, just to give you an example, with us personally, many of our clients, buy investment properties, things like that are positively geared, some are negatively geared, but the average is $50 a week for an investment property. Just think about that. If you got a pay rise of about $50 to $100 a week, that might be an investment property that you could hold for the next 15, 20 years of your life. Something along those lines can contribute significantly to your overall long-term wealth. But of course, it's all well and good and nice and easy that I say to you, just go and ask for a pay rise. But of course, you might be sitting there and saying, well, look, Tim, it's a hell of a lot harder than that. Okay, so let me give you a bit of insight about this right now. From the point of an employer, like I am an employer, we have something along the lines of about 30, 35 staff that operate inside the Infinite Group. How do I view this as an employer? Because I think many people do view it from the perspective that, most employers are like, no, we don't want to give a pay rise. We want to keep our wage costs down. How could you bring that to us? And who knows, maybe some people might even consider it a risk that they go and ask for a pay rise. But just to give you my perspective, g'day Derek, it's good to see you on the broadcast here, mate. Just let me give you my perspective on this, right? So as someone who is an employer, I can tell you from a business perspective, from a cost perspective, it is far cheaper to keep a good employee than it is to go through the time and the cost and expense of locating a new one. So if you're someone who's a good employee, potentially you could find that your employer will understand the value in maintaining a good employee and keeping, and not having to go through all that time and the effort and, possibly the risk of locating someone new who might interview well but may not actually be able to do their job very well. So that's one perspective. The other perspective that I want to give you as well, and of course this is something that we've talked about with our staff, our staff have started to become savvy enough to understand that there might be ways that they could add additional value to this business or to our business, which could, you know, potentially entitle them to a pay rise, but also generate us more business as a company, okay? You know, sometimes we have some of our administration staff, our support staff will actually attend after hours events, working at those after hours events, and because it would be valuable for us to have people working at those events, and by doing that, they've managed to secure themselves pay rises of anywhere from about $2,000 to $5,000 a year. So, you know, there may be ways in your own particular situation where you could provide additional value. And look, maybe it's about going and actually asking your employer about how they might be able to provide additional value. So that you can get a pay rise, okay? So that's my first perspective. But the other thing is, and of course this is greatly varied across all sorts of different companies, jobs, industries, things like that. So the other point that I'm going to give you in terms of finding out the best way to do this for you, look, no one knows your industry and your job better than you do. So my recommendation is just go and do a little bit of research. I would recommend that what you do is, this is shocking, right? You guys holding onto your hats, type into Google how to ask for a pay rise. I know, crazy, hey? But look, what you might find is you're gonna have a million different articles come up, okay? On those million different articles, maybe just click on the top 10, just scan through them. Maybe identify, you know, 3 to 5 points that are points that maybe apply to your industry, to your, the kind of work that you do, and something that you would feel comfortable talking to your boss about. Doesn't have to be going to war. This can be about finding out maybe what you can do better, what they can do better, you know, how you could possibly have a better meeting of the minds to produce a more productive job role, okay, so that both parties win, okay? Now, like I said, you know, this is often what I find in these 12 steps. This is often probably the one that is most confrontational for people. The idea about going and asking for a pay rise can be a pretty scary thing. Look, guys, I totally get it. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of things to consider. It's probably nowhere near as scary as what you actually think it might be. And you never know, there might be some good news on the other side. And even if that good news is only a small amount of good news, that could significantly contribute to building your long-term wealth. Guys, if you're generating $50, $100 a week more, that's $50, $100 a week more that you could be paying yourself. And over a long period of time, that could work out to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that can contribute to your financial security, your financial freedom, and your financial peace of mind. Guys, that's pretty much step 6. We have still got 6 steps. Of course, if you've missed the previous steps, you know, I've got them in the post above. I've got the step 1 through to 6, so you can click on those links and watch those videos. Stay tuned. You know, make sure that you follow our page. If you click on the follow button, you can nominate to see notifications first, which means you won't miss any of these videos, and then you can follow our next 6 steps. And like I said, 6 weeks away from completely transforming your financial situation. Thanks for being here with me today, guys. Loved having you. Please, like I said, give us your feedback, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.